Tissima, or sugar kelp, and sometimes Laminaria digitata, or horsetail kelp. Undaria pennitifida is a Japanese edible brown seaweed, similar to the Atlantic seaweed Alaria. Its common name is wakame. Laminaria japonica is a seaweed in the kelp family used in many Japanese recipes. Its common name is kombu. The sargassum seaweeds. Hijiki is the Japanese name for Sargassum fusiforme, a popular edible seaweed in Japan. Sargassum natans and Sargassum fluitans are the two free-floating seaweeds that make up the Sargasso Sea. Red seaweeds. Chondrus crispus, like other red seaweeds, can grow in water up to 200 feet deep or more, but it is also found in tide pools. The common names for it are Irish moss, on this coast, and carrageenan in Ireland. Mastocarpus stellatus grows in the roughest surf, tightly attached to ledges and boulders. It withstands ice and harbors many small invertebrates on which birds feed. Palmaria palmata grows in the intertidal zone. It thrives at the lowest ebb of the tide. It is called dulse along the western Atlantic and dillisk in Ireland. Porphyra umbilicalis. This species of seaweed grows along the western Atlantic coast down to Virginia. We call it laver. The genus Porphyra grows worldwide. In Japan, a number of species of Porphyra are raised in large aquaculture projects and are sold as nori. Prologue. Down East Maine, where I live, is for me the most beautiful place on earth, even in February, even on a dark day and a sharp wind. It is ledge and cobble, spruce and white pine, mudflats that glisten like a harbor seal's wet pelt, low-tide rocks covered in layer upon layer of seaweeds, and a horizon straight east across the water into Sunrise and Canada. No frills. It has been for me, and I think for so many others who live here, William Blake's grain of sand, a teaching place, and we have learned something of the world from it. Within the wild fabric of this shore, in its many coves and bays, seaweeds and other lives, from barnacles to fish to birds, are bound together, as they are along the shores of other places in the world. It is a tightly woven warp and woof of life, an ancient and essential system of give and take. In April, we can stand at the shore and see long lines of blackbirds rising and falling in undulating flight at the water's horizon, homing to their nesting islands. They are double-crested cormorants. They build their nests out of sticks and grass and the seaweeds they've ripped from underwater. Flocks of robins return. Eastern phoebes come back to the porch eaves. Both, in a cold snap, seek out the windrows of seaweed that lie in the sun above the high tide line. There, in the warm, rotting tangles, kelp flies and their larvae flourish. From deep underwater wintering places, adult lobsters lumber toward the inshore waters, where their young find both shelter and food in the rocky seaweed beds. Fish tend toward the shallows, too, to the wealth of food and protection in the dense underwater forests. The common periwinkle moves on its slippery foot onto the rocks in the intertidal zone, where it feeds on microscopic algae, green seaweeds, and the mucus trails of other snails. Broken strands of seaweed, if they don't wash up in a tide, float in mats out into deeper water, leaky kontikis carrying a host of small and edible inshore creatures with them before they sink to the bottom. These mats attract fish and birds, such as phalaropes, Bonaparte's gulls, and Leach's storm petrels.